This is simply unbelievable. In order to allow Pakistanis to live in spacious and comfortable special houses, this red brick processing workshop in Karachi uses the local unique free mud to produce red bricks with high-cost performance. The processing of red bricks naturally starts with mud. The mud that the excavator is transferring to the truck bucket is the raw material for making red bricks. Since the local mud is mainly clay minerals, the quality of the red bricks produced is quite reliable and durable. Soon, when a full truck of mud is loaded, the workers will drive the tractor to transfer it to the open-air production site 500 meters away. In order to keep the mud moisture and prevent other impurities from mixing into the mud, the workers will spread a layer of plastic film on the flat ground and then put the tractor on the film. Then they will open the discharge port at the rear of the truck bucket and start unloading. Due to the installation of the bottom of the truck bucket, there are two parallel bare rods. Under the drive of the tractor drive shaft, the bare rods inside will stir, squeeze, and discharge the mud. In this process, we can see that the texture of the mud is still very uniform and fine, and the speed of the whole discharge is also very fast. However, such mud cannot be used directly. A layer of plastic film will be covered on its surface, and the edge of the film will be pressed tightly against the wind. This is to allow the water in the mud to penetrate evenly and make its overall content. The water rate can be more consistent. At the same time, the organic matter in the mud can be further sunk and floated to improve the plasticity of the mud. After the mud has been sunk and floated for 6.5 days, the mud can become qualified brick mud. Next, the workers will directly dig a large piece of brick mud with their hands and transfer it to the site by hand. In order to speed up the speed of bricking, it is necessary to prepare enough brick mud in advance. The production of brick ladders is still quite primitive. French workers will first wrap a lump of brick mud of appropriate size with fine sand and then put it into the brick mold so that the brick batch can be demolded quickly. The whole process is completely operated by hand, and the workers have been squatting to work. The daily wages will be calculated according to the number of bricks. So in order to get more pay, the workers here will speed up to the speed of bricks. However, at this time, the water content in the brick batch is relatively high, and the texture is quite soft, so it is necessary to wait until it is. After 2.5 days of drying, the bricks are stacked in the staggered cubic shapes to speed up the evaporation of the water in the bricks. Then the bricks need to be dried for about a week before they can be sent to be fired. The workers will transfer the bricks one by one to the donkey cart. During this process, the workers do not wear gloves, but only wear a piece of tire rubber on their hands to protect their fingers. When loading the bricks onto the donkey cart, the workers do not put any rubber on the cart. Even when transporting too much weight, they did not sit on the donkey cart, but preferred to pull it themselves for a few more trips. Perhaps this is why only oxen and horses can understand the sadness of oxen and horses. From a distance, the site of this brick kiln is also very large. Probably less than 100 million bricks can be fired at a time. Workers will stack the bricks in succession and reserve holes in the middle for adding coal. And the workers above are also using brick ties to cover the brick batches. Next, they need to start. The process of firing the batches of bricks requires continuous injection of coal into the reserved coal feeding port to ensure that the temperature in the brick kiln can meet the firing requirements of the red bricks. The firing process of this earthen kiln needs to last for several days. After the red bricks are fired and cooled, they can be taken out one by one and handed to another worker to be placed on a cart. Then the red bricks are transferred to the outside of the brick kiln by the cart. Then they can be loaded onto a truck for sale. In order to earn more wages, workers will only sit on the red bricks to drink some cool drinks and rest for a while when they feel very tired. Maybe they are also thinking about how many red bricks they need to buy so that their families can live in a spacious and comfortable new house.